Good morning, my dear students. Let us begin the class. Please take page number 177, chapter 35. Sentences, simple, compound, and complex. And let us see what we are going to see in this chapter and what we are going to discuss. Both phrases and clauses are the basic components of writing different types of sentences. As we know, both phrases and clauses are basic components when you write a sentence or different sentence. Therefore, it is essential to understand their meaning. So it's very essential, it's very important to understand the meaning. Now let us see the phrase and the clause. A group of words which make sense but not complete sense is called a phrase. So what is a phrase? A group of words which make sense but not complete sense. A group of words which make sense but not complete sense is called a phrase. So for example, they are given: the sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. Humpty Dumpty sat on a board. In the above sentences, the groups of words, italics and phrases, a phrase forms a meaning unit within a clause. There are several types of phrases. As we have seen earlier, we already learned several types of phrases. So here they are given some of the examples and what type of phrase that are. The vase of roses stood on a table. So that is called noun phrase. He had been living in Mumbai. Verb phrase. He has led a very interesting life. Adjective phrase. The economy recovered very slowly. Adverbial phrase. We long to live near the sea. Prepositional phrase. A clause is a group of words that contains verb. So as we know, a phrase is a group of words that contains verb. It may form part of sentence or it may be complete sentence in itself. So it may be form a part of a sentence or it may be a complete sentence by itself. So we can see the examples here. She has ring a gold. So she will be the subject and has ring of a gold, that will be predicate. Predicate contains a verb and states something about the subject. As we know, predicate contains a verb. Predicate contains a verb and states something about the subject. So clause, let's see. Clause is the smallest grammatical unit which expresses a thought. It should be noted that clause in a sentence is different from a phrase in the unit to be must contain a subject and a verb. And clause is the smallest grammatical unit which expresses a thought. It should be noted that clause in a sentence is different from a phrase in that it must contain subject and verb. So let us see. The most effective writing uses a variety of sentence typing explained below. So simple sentence and compound sentence as well as complex sentence. Let us see what are they. Simple sentence consists of only one clause. So simple sentence, as you know, simple sentence is consists only one clause. It contains one independent clause, not dependent clause. So keep in your mind, simple sentence consists of one clause. It contains one independent clause and no dependent clause. So it contains one independent clause, no dependent clause. So example they are given. My father reads newspapers and magazines. The moon was bright. These two examples which we can easily understand. Simple sentence. One clause and it contains independent clause, not dependent clause. Keep in your mind always. Often it comes or should be keep in your mind, then you can easily get that. And you can write it down one by one. What is a simple sentence and compound sentence as well as complex sentence, and all those things, some basic things they are mentioning here. Compound sentences next. Compound sentence is composed of at least two independent clauses. There we have seen one independent clause. Here we can see two independent clauses. It does not require a depend clause. It does not require a depend clause. Conjunctions such as for, and, no, but, or, yet also can be used to make a compound sentence. So keep in your mind, this compound sentence is composed at least two independent clauses. It does not require a depend clause. Conjunctions such as for, and, nor, but, or, yet and so can be used to make a compound sentence. So this conjunction should be there as well as two independent clauses needed, and it does not require a depend a depend clause. And depend clause is not and depend clause, a depend clause. So we can see each of the clause of a compound sentence contains subject and predicate its own. So predicate sentence as well as sentence contains subject and predicate by its own. Compound sentence contains subject and then predicate by its own. Okay, so it's never depends on others. It always at least two independent clause, not dependent clause, as well as in it we can see conjunctions such as for, and, nor, but, or, yet and so finally. All this we can see as well as compound sentence contains subject and predicate by its own. Example. I started on time, but I arrived late. So we can see how many independent clauses we needed. We needed two independent clauses. Compound sentence, we needed two independent clauses and one conjunction. That's why they are given an example. I started on time, but I arrived late. So I started on time, that is the independent clause, as well as but is a conjunction as we know, and finally independent clause, one more two are there. So I arrived late. So next, birds fly and fish swim. So two independent clause as well as one conjunction. And this is see, keep in your mind two independent clause. It's not dependent clause, as well as one conjunction, two independent clause. Okay. So next we move to complex sentences. A complex sentence has more dependent clause. Here this is the opposite. It's always dependent and also called subordinate clause. So we can say complex sentence has one or more dependent clause. One it will be one or more. So we can say subordinate clause. A dependent clause cannot stand its own. So it can't stand by its own. So it always depends. Even though it has a subject and verb. So in this sentence also we can find subject and verb, but it always depends. Thus simple sentence as well as compound sentence, these sentences are not require any dependent clause, but they need independent clause. They are always keeping independent clause. So it doesn't require dependent clause, and compound sentence we can find conjunctions. Here we can find more, one or more dependent clause. So let us see what are the examples. He finished first, though he began late. So here we can find one independent clause as well as one dependent clause. So it always depends. He finished first, though he began late. Independent clause and dependent clause. So it always depends. He ran away because he was afraid. Independent clause as well as dependent clause. In this chapter, we must see three things in your mind. Keep in your mind: simple sentence as well as simple sentence, forward sentence, complex sentence. And simple sentence we can see consists only one clause. It consists only one clause. It's independent clause. It's a one clause. It's only one clause as well as independent clause. Two things we have to be. Then compound sentence, we can see how many clause it will be. Two independent clause. It will be two independent clause as well as conjunction. Isn't it? Conjunction we have to use. Two independent clause as well as conjunction we have to use. And finally, complex sentence, it will be one or more dependent clause. So it always depends. So as a human being, we just think as a human being, we are to be independent, isn't it? We never depend on others. We are to be independent as well as we are to. You keep in your mind, we just think about, we are not taking others. We just take about others, complex sentence, compound sentence about as a human being, we should not depend on others. So we can independent clause. We have to be an independent person. So same thing you keep in your mind, that it will never forget. So simple also we can find that one clause independent sentence or independent clause. Independent clause. So we can see these three things you keep in your mind, and keep in your mind, and you can easily find by seeing a sentence which type of sentence. Let us see. Here there are some examples, exercises, and they are given examples before. Let us see the exercises so that I will send you as a PDF, and you can easily note down. And you try to write by yourself. After keeping all the things in your mind, and you can write easily. So you try to write with a pencil in your textbook as well as a rough book, and I will give a PDF so that easily you can learn. Easily you can write down in your notebook. So let us try, and this is the class which I am going to conclude. All the best. Have a nice day.